Hi everyone! If you've ever grown watermelon, you know just how tricky harvest timing can be. If you pick too early, they're bland and not near as sweet as they could be. But if you pick too late, they're mushy and flavorless. And when you grow them on a trellis, the usual ripeness signs can really throw you off. See this little sugar baby right here? Well, I'm going to harvest this little beauty today and share 3 clues that give you the best chance for that sweet, juicy flavor that we're all after. And at the end of the video, I'm going to cut it open because not even I know what it's going to look like on the inside. I'm going to cover my ripeness checks, whether they're growing on the ground or hanging in a sling, and also my little rescue trick when you have to pick them too soon, but you still want a watermelon that tastes like summer. Now, I've used these harvest clues here in my Southern California garden for many years, and they work for Charleston Grays, the big huge ones, the mini sugar babies, or anything in between, whether you're growing them in a raised bed, containers, or on a vertical trellis. When you're growing watermelons vertically on a trellis like I am here, it doesn't have all the usual ripeness tests like it does when you're growing watermelons that are sitting on the ground. On the ground, the ground spot, or the spot that's actually sitting on the ground, will turn from a creamy white to a pale yellow when it's ripe. But since my watermelon is not sitting on the ground, we don't have that usual test here for this because the sun's hitting it on all sides and you don't have that ground spot to go by. So the first clue is the tendril test. Now what you want to do is look at your watermelon, and here I've got mine in this little sling, so I'm going to kind of peel the sling back so you can see it's a really nice looking watermelon. But you follow the main stem back until you find the first tendril on the stem. And when that tendril is brown, like it is right here, that is your first clue that your watermelon is ready to harvest. But you don't want to depend just on the brownness of the first tendril because the wind can dry it out and it might not be a surefire clue to see if your watermelon is ready. My fix for this, check 2 or 3 tendrils nearby. If they're still green, wait a few more days and then check again. If they're brown and crispy like mine are here, then your watermelon is ready to harvest. Clue number 2 is the skin shine test. Now, when a watermelon is not ripe, the skin is shiny, which means the watermelon is focusing its energy on growing and expanding the skin. But when it starts to ripen, it takes on a dull matte finish like my sugar baby here. And that means that it's done focusing on the skin and it's focusing on the inside sugars of the plant, sweetening it and making it nice and juicy and ready for harvest. So far my sugar baby melon has 2 of the 3 clues that it's ripe and ready to harvest. Clue number 3 is the classic knock test, which most people use when you go to the grocery store to test your melon. It's not near as reliable, but it's definitely something to check on your melons that are starting to ripen. So an unripe melon will have a sharp knocking sound, kind of like this. But a ripe melon will have a nice dull thud. Now what you want to do though is cup your hand and use that when you're testing the ripeness of your melon. See how it's a lot duller and deeper of a thud than my table knock? So this melon, I'm happy to report, has 3 out of 3 clues that it's ripe and ready to harvest. Can't wait. I have a little pro tip for you. Make sure you're doing the knock test in the morning because rinds warm from the sun can sound different. We're going to harvest sugar baby in just a moment and cut it open. But before that, I want to give you the rescue tip I promised earlier in the video. If for some reason you have to harvest your melons early, maybe you've got pest issues, vine issues, or you've got storms coming, harvest it and then put it on a sunny windowsill and flip it so it gets even warmth over a couple of days. Now, it won't turn a complete dud into a winner, but will turn a melon that's slightly unripe into pretty darn good. Be sure to keep it away from bananas and apples because the ethylene gas in those fruit will speed up softness, which you don't want, but it won't speed up sweetness, which you do want. Here's an easy way to master melon harvest timing. We've got 3 clues: the tendril test, the shiny skin test, and the knock test. If you have 2 out of 3 clues present, it's go time. These are the 2 most important that really need to be present, are the tendril test and the shiny skin test, because the knock test is kind of subjective. So if you've got those 2 out of 3, it's go time. We're going to check the second melon I have here hanging in my sling as well to see if it's ready. Let's take a look at the tendril. The tendril closest to the vine still has a little bit of green on it, so I would really hesitate to harvest this one and check again a few days later. Let's check the next tendrils on the vine. We're going to go down the vine. This one is still green, not a good harvest sign. And then we'll go up the vine And the tendrils here are still green. So we're gonna check this one in a few days. The skin still does have some sheen on it, and some striping here, although it's starting to dull. The knock test, it's a dull thud, but because of the green tendrils and the sheen on the skin, we're gonna wait a few days on this one. Now here's the part I've been waiting all summer for, harvesting my sugar baby melon. It's got 3 out of the 3 clues that it's ready to go. Let's pick this baby off and cut it open. Now, since my sugar baby has 3 of the 3 clues, I'm pretty confident it's gonna look great when I open it and taste great. But you never quite know until that moment of truth when you actually cut it open. So here we go. Ooh, that pop means it's nice and juicy. Did you hear that? Wow, this looks absolutely amazing.
That looks really good. I gotta just say that.
It's got lots of juice coming from it. What a beauty. I'm so excited. And I love sugar babies because they're nice and small. We can usually eat it in one sitting. This is so good. Jerry?
It looks really good.
Jerry, you've got to try it.
Okay. Oh man, that's really good.
Garden fresh, right?
Yeah, it's just really good. It's what a reward. You know, it's been sitting there that whole time. Wow. Well, I'm going to eat it.
And the fun thing is, you can have a watermelon spitting contest with this one. We can grow another one. Ready? Into the raised bed. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Which one's gonna grow? Now you know, watermelon harvest timing doesn't have to be tricky. Look for the 3 clues for your best chance of sweet, ripe, juicy fruit. If you like our videos, please subscribe, hit that thumbs up button. As usual, I'll be reading the comments. Thanks for watching. See you next time in the garden.